think the important thing to realize is that just 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, we were restricted by what technology can do. For example, we would say, can we stream music on the mobile network, or can we make an augmented reality with my glasses? And the question was usually yes, but maybe not really. It's difficult, right? And now the question is, every time you ask technology can do something, the question is going to become yes, it is possible. It is possible to connect my brain to the internet. It's not working now, but it's possible, right? And so the real question, as I said earlier, as Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, said, it's not so much about the means of getting to a place and the steps, but it's the destination that we have to decide, right? So give you an example. If Dubai is choosing to have robot policemen in the mall, then the question is not so much about what the robot policeman will do, but what is the destination? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to create a society where we replace people with badly functioning robots, or are we actually doing something that is going to be good for us? And that is the real question. And that is the question, if you build an artificial city, if you have an Internet of Things, if you do all these things, we have to ask the question, what is the outcome of this? Can we control it? Is it going to be good for most people? Does it have benefit beyond money? Right? Because money isn't enough, as we found out in the COVID crisis. There are other things that matter. So, and that's why I say people, planet, purpose, prosperity. And that is the ultimate question. And that question is going to pop up all the time now, because we're getting to the point where technology is actually capable. Ethics is a difficult word, right? So most people perceive ethics as a stumbling block, Like many people say, oh, as soon as the ethics person comes into the room, everything slows down. And nothing gets done because everybody is worried. And that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about essential human things that we must protect and keep. Okay? It's not an ethical question if you're going to have one car or two cars or electric cars or other cars or, those kind of things. But it's very much an ethical question if a human has the power to do what the human, him or herself, wants to do without having to ask a robot or an AI for permission. And that is basically the question we're talking about here. The good future is not a future that is governed by technology. The good future is a future where we use technology to govern ourselves, right? And to create a better future. The simple answer is that technology should remain a tool, not a purpose. And the metaverse is already looking a lot like a purpose, like a place, like a destination, like not just like a tool. And if you ask me about government, the first thing the government should do is to make everything digital and efficient and easy and great to use for people without going into cyberspace and building a new population. And I think there are more pressing things to do than to build a metaverse. And the metaverse really is, I sometimes call it the meta-perverse, because like the meta that goes wrong, because a lot of things in the discussion about the metaverse, I'm very excited to work in virtual reality like I'm doing now, but I don't live in virtual reality. We don't live in virtual reality. We have a body, right? We are actually there. And when we talk to actual people in actual places, which is what you're doing now, things happen, right? And we can't ignore that we are humans so that we can pretend we can live in this virtual place that is going to make a lot of money for the companies building it. But in the end, I always say the metaverse will maybe fulfill all of our dreams, but it will not fulfill our most simple need, which is to connect with others. I'm very excited about AI and the possibility of smart machines. I would just rather prefer not to call it intelligent, artificial intelligence, because it kind of sounds like semi-human, and they're absolutely not. They are smart in their own way, those machines, right? And that is important, because we can solve a lot of problems with smart technology, but humans have a 360-degree view of the world. We have emotional intelligence, social intelligence, kinesthetic, musical intelligence, right? We see the world like this, the machine sees the world like this. And so we're actually making a very good pair here. And so this is where I say we should definitely pursue that as a tool. And that's why I prefer to call it intelligent assistance, IA rather than AI. But we should not seek to build machines that have consciousness or competence beyond the logic. It could get very dangerous and it's totally unneeded. Why would I want a machine that can be like a human? I mean, that is a crazy concept, because first we need to solve a lot of practical problems, and all we need from machines is just competence. For medical reasons, for financial reasons, for climate change, for all of these things, we just need machines that are better at cracking the numbers and the logic. We don't need them to think like a human. That's what we do, right? And that's why I say we should have a moratorium on the development of machines who can be super or generally intelligent, because A, it's a total waste of energy in my view, and B, it could be extremely dangerous and probably beyond control. Imagine a machine with an IQ of 1 billion. You could never figure out how to get that machine to be powered down. It would have run through all billion combinations of preventing it. So that's why I say we need to agree on where we're going, and AGI is not where we want to be going, I think, for the foreseeable future. Humans have always been afraid of technology, even the hammer or the electric loom, right? The Luddites. And of course the internet and television and the mobile phone. We've always been afraid of technology. And we should not move into the future based on fear. But we should also not move in the future like farm animals, they're stupid basically, right? We need to find a very good compromise and say, okay, I don't use fear, but I am cautious about what I want from it, right? And that is the ticket, of course, to a balanced future, is to say, yes, we'll use it for this, but not for that. For example, genetic engineering clearly will have a big component in our future where we're able to prevent cancer. And if we can prevent cancer for one person, it's worth everything that we've done. Like we've done with the vaccine, it's worth it, and we're getting further, right? But the same technology needs to be supervised, just like social media needs to be supervised, so that it doesn't become toxic. Basically you can see with social media what happened. It worked well for a while, kind of, right? And then it became like a poison. And now you wonder, am I part of a poisonous system? And that we can't afford to have that happen with AI, because that kind of poison we would not survive. And with genetic engineering, we're going to need a global consensus on what we're trying to achieve and what is good and what is not good. Like we have a global consensus for nuclear power and nuclear weapons that has kept up, right? If we didn't have that, we probably wouldn't be talking today. When we become technology, which for example means that we become superhuman, we connect our brain to the internet and we can do anything we want, we can be superhuman, then we become a commodity. Because the things that make us human have nothing to do with technology. They are things like spirituality, understanding, emotions, foresight, creativity, communication, the things that machines will never understand. So if I was to become superhuman, I would need to let go of the good things, like mystery, like the human component. And humans are inefficient. So this is all part of what we are. If I'm going to become superhuman, as Ray Kurzweil is suggesting, to become merging with the machine and Elon Musk, I would drop all the other stuff just because I can, increase the power of my brain. That seems like a very bad deal. Because everything else would get lost. And I think there's nothing wrong with living longer and healthier and maybe to 120, yes, possible, right? But to fundamentally change what humans are by combining them with machines, I think that is a losing battle that will be very sorry to go down that road. Also as a competition, right? Imagine you could do that because, we could do that because we have the money, but 80% of the world could not. I mean, that would be a very, very big injustice. So there are many issues here. I think we should use technology to improve things, our planet, our purpose, and our environment and everything. But we should stay clear of getting too close to becoming one with technology.